to agenda A, adoption of the agenda. I need a motion.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Barr, second by Ms. Boutin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 3, consent agenda. A, approve minutes of May 6, 2026 Finance Committee meeting. B, approve minutes of May 6, 2026 School Board meeting. And C, adoption of the consent agenda. I need a motion.
Okay.
Moved by Ms. Orso. Second by Ms. Boutin. All in favor?
Aye.
4, reports and recognition. A, receive administrative personnel report. A copy has been provided for each one of us. And we will move on to B, recognize and honor Ms. Thomas and Delta Sigma Theta as amazing community partners for supporting early literacy with the Assumption Parish Early Childhood Program.
I know Miss Rachel right now is doing a lot of work because we are in the middle of our Ready Start Network early childhood monitoring. You heard her come in?
He's trying.
Elevator
Miss Rachel
music.
deserves a theme song. Go ahead. I'll make sure I turn.
Oh, that's
mine
Miss
off.
Antoinette, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Turn mine off.
And there's Miss Rachel.
Hey.
Good evening.
Assumption Parish Schools
Miss
proudly
Rachel.
partnered with Bayou Fooch Area Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated to celebrate Literacy Day on Monday, May 4th, 2026. As part of this special initiative, members of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority visited every Head Start, pre-K, kindergarten classroom throughout Assumption Parish to read with students and promote the importance of early literacy in engaging and meaningful ways. Throughout the day, sorority members spent time sharing stories, interacting with children, and encouraging a lifelong love for reading among our youngest learners. Their presence brought excitement, joy, and positive literacy experiences to classrooms across the parish. To make the event even more memorable, each child received a backpack filled with books to support continued reading and learning at home. Assumption Parish Schools is incredibly grateful to the Bayou Lafourche Area Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority for their generosity, dedication, and commitment to supporting early childhood literacy initiatives. Their investment in our students help build a strong educational foundation and inspire future academic success. We look forward to continued partnership and future collaborations with the Bayou Lafourche Area Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated as we work together to support children and families through our community. At this time, I'd like to ask that the members who are in attendance come up to be recognized. Thank you so much.
That's Sonia Landry, daughter right there.
Thank you so much. Oh, this is wonderful.
I didn't know that.
Would y'all like to speak?
Yep, you can.
Miss Ciara, I need to say a little bit.
Oh, with the red
It was Miss
Good evening, everyone. I am Trinette Wallace. I am the president of the Bayou Lafourche Area Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta. It was a complete honor for us to partner with your school district to host our Read and Read Day for Literacy. A part of one of our 5-point thrusts for the national organization is educational development. And something that we hold dear to our heart is impacting our communities in any way that we can. And literacy is one of our main focuses. So I hope we can find something else we can do to continue this partnership with the students, because that's who really matter, the students in this district and community. And it was even a much of an honor to come back here from where I am from. So thank you all.
Thank you all very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah.
Hey, we attended, ladies, we attended the, and to see how many children, y'all want to do?
And I want to give credit to my beautiful soror, Miss Sierra. This is the first, so I would consider Assumption Parish the first, because this is the first that we have supported a district for every elementary school. So this is truly with every other school district. So I just started calling it like, how did you? I said, we keep it at home, so I want to thank her for organizing this. And please,
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you all. On a little news and note, Trinette is one of the twins of my first cousin, Sonia Landry. That's her daughter right there. Yeah. And her husband, by the way, also happened to be my frat brother.
But we do thank you all for what you're, and it's a blessing to see how our young girls, I call y'all girls, y'all young ladies now, y'all were girls when I remember y'all. Even my girl back in y'all basketball players.
Yeah.
And this young lady right there blessed our hearts with a Black History program. I think she
Yes.
came and preached to us, and Lord have mercy. But we thank y'all for what y'all doing. It's just amazing, and we blessed to have y'all back in this past doing the work that God called y'all. God bless y'all.
Yes, thank you all very much. Anything we can do to get kids a book in their hand as early as possible, that's a great thing. And then if we can do anything as a board and a community to support your organization and giving back to our community, please let the superintendent know. If we can spread the word, or if you do fundraisers or things like that, please let us know so we can get involved as well. And if there ever was a person who impacted early childhood in the parish, it is Ms. Antoinette as well. So thank you all so much for the partnership, and we appreciate it.
I think everybody has said beautiful things, and I can't even say any more than that. But I will say, Ms. Trinette, I saw your mother standing there while you were speaking, and that was beautiful because I remember her like it was yesterday, having her as a principal. So, love it. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Just a side note, definitely, we appreciate you all coming here. And anything that you all need, because I know you all provide many, many services to the community. So, voter registration might come up, or your health initiatives, whatever initiatives you have as an organization, sorority, please don't hesitate to reach out. Our doors are open because we need more organizations like you all to come in and help support our young kids. And I'm gonna take a little side note. I know Mr. Honoré say frat brother over there with A5A, but purple and gold is the colors we wore. So we definitely appreciate you all coming, and please don't hesitate to reach out if anything that you all need. Like Mr. Yvette said, we definitely here to support your endeavors.
5, policies, procedures, and resolutions. A, approve 240-day employee non-working holiday calendar for 2025, 2026, and 2026, 2027. I need a motion. So moved. Moved by Ms. Bear, second by Mr. Washington. Do you need to say anything? Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? Passes.
There were two people we were recognizing, too.
we have more? Okay, all right.
I'm so sorry, it wasn't on my,
No, it wasn't. That's
no,
fine. That's fine.
come
Ms.
on,
Rachel. It
yes,
wasn't
ma'am,
on our list.
absolutely.
Okay. All right, so we have two champions of literacy with us here tonight.
Love it.
Assumption Parish Head Start proudly recognizes the impact of Real Reading Program, an initiative created and designed by Ms. Antoinette Thomas, retired Assumption Parish Head Start teacher, through empowering families and supporting children's literacy development through the joy of reading. The Real Reading Program focuses on building strong early literacy foundations by distributing new and gently used books monthly to children enrolled in Head Start and other families in need throughout Assumption Parish. Through these efforts, the program helps families create home libraries and provides children with greater access to books and meaningful reading experiences. The mission of the program is to help bridge the gap that often exists in early literacy development so children can develop language, comprehension, and literacy skills needed for lifelong success. A special part of the program is the dedication of Ms. Thomas, who visits each Head Start classroom monthly to read with students and personally distribute books to every child. Her commitment to promoting literacy and fostering a love of reading has made a lasting impact on children and families across the parish. By placing books directly into the hands of children and encouraging families to read together at home, the Real Reading Program continues to strengthen literacy opportunities and inspire young learners across Assumption Parish. Assumption Parish is grateful for the generosity, dedication, and community support that makes programs like Real Reading possible to help ensure that all children have access to high-quality literacy experiences both in the classroom and at home. Special thanks to Ms. Antoinette Thomas.
Outstanding work. Good job. All of it. Ms. Antoinette? Ms. Antoinette will give you an opportunity to share a few words.
I want to thank the Assumption Parish School and the school system for this honor of recognizing me tonight as someone who's very passionate and who's very concerned about the early learners in Assumption Parish. And because I see the smiles on the children's faces and see how they light up when they get their books, it gives me the drive to continue. And if y'all know of anyone who has books that they would like to donate, I do accept donations of new or used books so that these children can continue to shine and to build the skills that is necessary for them throughout life as lifelong learners. So thank y'all tonight for the recognition.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you so
Ms.
much.
Antoinette. Get ready, you got some bins coming to you.
Yeah.
Now I know where to bring them.
B, approve 2026-2027 Student Code of Conduct. I need a motion.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Abear, second by Mr. Lewis. All in favor? Any opposed? Passes, excuse me. 6, budget. A, adopt current millage rates. School district regular, 5.490 mills. Need a motion?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Meyer. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? School district number 1, 6.120 mills. I need a motion.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Abear, second by Mr. Lewis. All in favor?
All right,
Any opposed? School district number 1, 20.810 mills. I need a motion. Ms. Boutin, second, Mr. Abear. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? School district number 1, 6.970 meals. I need a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Ferris and second by Mr. Washington. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All pass. B, receive April 2026 sales and use tax report.
Thank you, Madam President. Total receipts, $1,717,364.89, which is an increase of $93,792.28, with a rate of change of a positive 6%. School Board received $853,617.99, which was an increase of $46,476.79, which is an increase of 6%. 92 Bond Fund received $170,723.40, an increase of $9,295.32. We had decreases in apparel, automotive, equipment, contract and manufacturing, miscellaneous, and unclassified. We had increases in food, general merchandise, service, and utilities. Madam President?
Thank you, sir. C, approve Lean Frog proposed salary schedule adjustment. I need a motion.
Madam President, in the spirit of moving our parish forward and being as equitable and as competitive as possible, I make a motion that we approve the salary schedule adjustment proposed by Lean Frog.
First by Mr. Abear, second by Ms. Orso. All in
Discussion.
favor? Oh, discussion.
I have a couple of questions. Just to make it clear, when we transfer from a 9-month teacher salary, or say, okay, if somebody's going from a teacher to a assistant principal, we would go to that 95-day teacher salary schedule.
The index.
And then index it by,
You use the 180-day teacher schedule, and then we use the 195 index.
okay, so it would be indexed at 1.06, because I'm getting 1.10.
It's whatever's at the top of the,
Okay. So if we use the 195-day salary schedule and multiply that by 106, that's not what it comes out to.
It's indexed off the teacher, the 182.
And I got no problems
Yeah.
with
go
the,
back to the, I took what they put together in the document, and then I put each column for us in our salary schedule, so I can double check with that, but it's whatever is the index, and I can grab my computer, but it's the index, there's a certain index for the assistant principals, and then like your principal 7-8, your principal 9-12, those were indexed.
But it's actually, she's asking where, what.
It's indexed off of the 180-day
Right.
so
schedule.
182. So it would be-
182, I'm sorry, 182.
So if you go on from assistant principal, from 182-day teacher to 195-day assistant principal, it would be 106 from the.
Like I said, I don't know those indexes right offhand, but
Okay,
I
I'll
can
show
tell you
I'll
before
show
the
you.
end.
And I'm not, I don't have a problem with the amounts, I just wondering how you got them.
No, we don't.
Okay, my other question is, if it's a 10-year teacher, they would go to the 10th step on the assistant principal scale. Okay, because like we had it before, I just wanted to make sure.
Not starting back over year one.
That's why it's indexed off the teacher scale.
Okay, so, and that should work for directors too,
Yes.
except like a business director. A business director might not necessarily be coming from a teacher salary.
It's-
So would we start them at step one? Or would we consider their years of experience?
The years of experience is what the Lean Frog Company recommended.
Okay, whether
Yes,
they were in the
directors.
school system or not? Okay. And I think,
Because in our policy, we have work experience credit as well. So you may look at your work experience credit from the outside industry, and that was always indexed. Well, I'm gonna take that back. It wasn't indexed, but you would look at work experience credit, look and see what they come to the table with their verified years of experience, and then look at steps that way as well.
Okay, because the numbers seem low for the director's salary at the top end, but you're not going to have a first-year director.
Well, and you make a good point, and that's what Ms. Chastity said a few times when she was here. Our administrative indexes are low compared to what surrounding in the peer districts were, but we did that so that we can focus on our support schedules and our teacher schedules with a next step would be, like we talked about the last finance meeting, was go up to 40 steps. Because after 2015, anybody in the new salary or teacher retirement system, you're working to your 62. So try to go 40 steps and then look at our admin indexes because they are low, but it was what we could bring to the table to put
Right.
more into everybody else.
Right.
And I think it's important to communicate that previously, we only had 3 steps for our directors. Now, they have an opportunity to have 30 steps. Same for assistant principals. I think it was at 17 steps. Now they have an opportunity to get 30 steps. So, and even though we don't see it in a dollar amount, you would see it in the steps over time. So right now, I want to say almost all of our directors are frozen. I don't think they could make any more money right now because we only had 3 steps, or 3 or 4 steps within that
And we
particular salary
have,
schedule.
like, we have administrators that are frozen or they're going to be very soon because of, like Dr. B said, one was maybe 11 steps, 17 steps. We're kind of all over the place in our admin steps.
I know,
Did add
I was
steps.
frozen.
Yeah.
We did add steps, like some of our teachers are frozen at 30 years, but we did add to where they will, no?
Not this go round. This proposal with what we could afford to bring to the table, it does stop at 30, but that was one of the recommendations. That would be your next thing to look at. If y'all approve that, we would go to step 40. That would be your next.
And that's
What would that word going to step, like, if we approve, when is going to step 40?
I don't understand.
That would be another conversation, correct? That would be a conversation, once this was approved, to go back and look to see when we can step to the 40. Am I saying that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
look,
mean, the
I'm-
document allows for me to do that. I just have to go and add some more to the bottom. Y'all would just have to approve us to go to step 40, which would increase the amount that it would cost us to do.
We can also adjust the admin indexes as
Yes.
well, but it's the system is clear across the board.
Yeah, if I
now.
change an index at the top, then it changes the whole scale.
Yep.
I was
And this could be done
understanding-
now, once it's approved.
On the
If
lean
y'all
frog-
approve what we gave to y'all, it's only at step 30.
Okay?
But if y'all wanted us to go to step 40 from what you approved, we could do that. But I don't know how it works as far as what y'all have in front of you.
And
What
we
you have in
don't,
front of you is
current,
30.
it can be done. So currently, right now, we would have to go back and rework our numbers because that dollar amount that we're looking at being in the red, I think is 600 and some thousand, may wind up being 700 or 800 some thousand. When you increase the amount that more people, and now look, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be that much, but it's gonna increase. It's definitely will increase, because you currently have some people right now frozen at 30 years. So when you start saying that you're going to 35, we're gonna have to start looking at, okay, if those people start getting to 35 years, what does that look like from a financial standpoint?
But we could run those numbers.
We can run those numbers.
Yeah, we can,
'Cause I really was under the impression, I was led to believe that we were doing this. So,
Well, on
If
the-
you stop
on-
at 30 years, it's at 30 years. Now, always remember this, the part of the problem is, we have some people, not many, we have some people get extra money outside of what their current step indicates. Meaning, we have some teachers that got $5,000 more, meaning one teacher could have 22 years, another teacher could have 22 years. Some people making $5,000 more than the other person, even though they have the same amount of years. So they're already being paid more than some people already. That's part of the issues we've had within the salary schedule that we're trying to fix. So even with the new salary schedule, even though you see that the 30-year number increase a bit, they're still making more than that number.
On the Lean Frog, just to quote the Lean Frog study that we did receive, it does say future recommendations, increase steps to 40 for all positions. And the second says increase indexes for leader positions due to proposed schedules still being below peer averages as a future recommendation from Lean Frog.
and that's as we analyze budget yearly, whether we can take on that expense or not. Right now, we're leveling the system, making sure it operates effectively for everyone, and then we can always build on top when we analyze each year's budget. to
But
see
you
where
could
we are.
run both numbers and compare, couldn't you?
I think that was their recommendation, to stay at 30, because we gave them kind of this is how much we can spend, and they said, this is what we recommend based on your budgetary numbers. And if we would go to 40, we wouldn't be able to afford right now. That's why they recommended that as a future.
You should look at those numbers, though. Even though it said you can't afford it, you still should be able to look at them.
Yeah, and I can run that, I mean, we can do that, because I know who's at what step, so we can get y'all that figure.
That would be great, because I think we all do
Yeah.
agree. Or I can speak for
Yeah,
myself
let's
that I
go to
agree.
50. We would love to, yeah.
For the majority of your staff that's at, because we have a good bit of our population that's at 30 steps, or step 30 right now. The new step 30 is an increase from what this step 30 is. So if you were to approve it tonight and you do move forward with it this year, they would get an increase. There's a select little few that, because of changes over the years, that they are maxed out, and they are frozen. There's very few, but for the most part, if you're at step 30 now, the new step 30 is an increase. So if you wanted us to look at, yes, y'all want to approve, then your 30 would, for the most part, get an increase, but over the course of the next year, when we bring it back to you all, you can maybe put 40 in at that time, and then it just is one more year to see how the funds are and what have you. But the good thing is our new step 30 does end higher than our current step 30, if approved.
And the only other
Typical, could you
question,
take a look at, give us another recap over this information you gave us a couple of weeks ago, just for some clarity and better understanding what's going on, if we approve it, or if we don't approve it, where we'll be at if we don't approve it?
So at the Financial Committee meeting 2 weeks ago, I presented the information of the projected revenues for the 26-27 fiscal year are $38,221,108. Our projected expenditures on the current salary schedule, that if we do nothing but approve the salary schedule we already have, with everyone getting the step increase, because we have to provide that, the expenditures would be $40,386,384. Of that total cost, $2.5 million are capital projects. So those are not normal recurring expenses. When you remove the capital projects and stay on the current salary schedule, we would be in the black, which means we would not be below budget, $355,724. With the capital projects, we are in the red, 2.165, but the capital projects are your one-time expenditures, and they can come from your fund balance. The projected proposed salary schedule change, the adjustment, we have the same revenues. The expenditures go up to $41,378,475. The capital project stays the same. The difference would be, we would be in the red, a negative balance with the capital projects of $3.157 million. But if you remove the capital projects, because you can do that, because that's part of your fund balance with the one-time expenses, we would have a negative $636,367. Now, these are projections. We cannot complete the full budget until the salary schedule is approved or the adjusted salary schedule is approved. We worked as closely as we could to get the entire budget projected draft with each individual employee, with all expenses for all departments, for salaries, benefits, contracted services, materials and supplies, everything that we could put in. We do have to go in and revise and check our latest budget to actuals to make sure that our expenses are in line, things like that, because in the financial world, when your data, your numbers are a month behind, they're already outdated. So I did this about a month ago, so we'd have to go back and review and refresh. And to answer your question about checking to step 40, it would require Ms. Brandy going into the study and changing those employees. And then I would take those employees' salary numbers and put it into the budget projection that I have, and it would give us the total.
Just to be clear, right now, even if we approve this salary schedule adjustment, we have to still cut $630-some thousand. So just
Balance the
to
budget.
balance the budget. So we even though we were staring at what, 2.5 million,
Yes.
we got it all the way down to 630-some thousand. And I think that's phenomenal work. But even if we approve this, we still have to make additional cuts, whether that be in, well.
To the overall
To
budget.
the overall budget. And that will be in personnel, that will be in some other expenditures. So I just want to be clear on that. So if we want to add more, that number is going to get higher as far as what we have to do. But I just want to be clear and transparent on that, that's all.
And Ms. Brandy, I had a couple of questions from staff, and I kind of gave them the answer from the Lean Frog study, but I want to make sure they hear it. The question was, if they're on step 20 this year and we approve the adjustment, they're still going to move to step 21 and they will get paid on the new adjusted schedule. They won't go to the closest step based on the current salary. So we had the questions asked, like, if I'm on step 20 and next year is 21, are they going to put me on step 15 because it's the closest to my pay? No, you will still get the increase to the next step for next year and the adjustment that comes with that. That's correct. Okay.
Because every step's an increase
Yes.
on the new schedule.
Yeah. And I
Yes,
think
everybody will get an increase
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
some type, yes. Just because you're moving to a whole new salary schedule this year. After that, every step increase will be the consistent amount, once you move on. The indexes for assistant principals are 1.06, and then for the 195, so it's a 1.06 is what it is on the schedule. So, I mean, I can just make sure the numbers are, but that's what it is. It's not it's the 1.10 was for the principal,
Okay.
yeah.
And when you're looking at each individual person and you looked at where they are, we had to ensure that no one lost their salary.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you try to do an individual person and the index is not 100% exact, it could be that we had to make some adjustment to the step to make sure that
They were in the
did not
red.
get a
They were in the
reduction
positive.
salary.
Yeah. And my plan is, or our plan, because it's going to be a group effort if y'all approve this, is that we will compose a letter. And every individual get a letter of where they were, where they're going, so that, I mean, they will be provided with that to have transparency and then be able to ask any questions if need be after they get there.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Let me say this. We all know that over the past decades, we've lost over 60,000 students from public schools in Louisiana. Just this year alone, we have lost over 11,000 students across the state of Louisiana. Our MFP dollars are predicated on the number of our student count, right? So I look at this report, and I even went back up to, I think, 2024, when we first solicited Lean Fraud to come in and do a feasibility study for us. Nowhere in this report I saw where they took into account our student count. I think for that, this report is not objective as it could have been had they went on and looked at the student count. You know what I asked the district to give a 12%, which is 11.9% increase from 43,700 up to 48,000 to put us somewhere in the pack between our regionals. It's hard for us to compete here in Assumption with schools around in our district. We don't have the resources. I know this, and everybody else in here know this. I don't see too many companies coming knocking on our doors, want to come in here and set up shop. We not afford that. I think if they would have considered this, and it'll be a little bit more objective. But you're talking about a $5,200 salary increase, and you already heard Dr. B and Ms. Thibodeau that we're gonna have to make a serious cut of at least $636,000. That is hard to reconcile with at the beginning of the school year. Our goal, our objective is to balance the budget at every school year. So this is something, I don't know, or maybe you ladies might could tell me, when y'all was in the committees, did Lean Frog ever talked about the number of students we've lost over the past 10 years? And in the future losses, things like that, because if you go back and look, I mean, our numbers has consistently dropped over the last 10 years. You all know that better than me. And I don't see any increase in our student count over the years to come.
In the study, they didn't look at student count, honestly. They looked at current salary schedules we have and the market value analysis. They looked at our incumbents versus market value analysis, and then our current salary schedules versus our peers. So we knew we couldn't compete with our Ascensions in St. James, but their recommendation was to get as close as we could with Terrebonne, St. Mary, and Lafourche.
St. Mary, yeah.
And so that's kind of where we were trying to be. But to your point, they didn't look at that because they're just analyzing how comparable is what we offer as a salary to our employees, how comparable is that to the market and to those surrounding us. So that's what the study ended up looking at.
And we take into account student numbers when we staff the schools. And then also, just to be clear, on the projected revenues, the projected MFP award letter for 26-27 came out like a week before I finished my budget projections. So I did use what the State Department of Louisiana has on their website for the business managers for the projected MFP for the 26-27 school year. I did not use the MFP from this year. It is a reduction of around 1.4 or $1.5 million. I have been working with numbers and a lot of documents. It's been some long days, so forgive me if I'm misquoted with the exact amount, but it's close to that. And then, of course, we just have to do a percent increase based on an average of the rest of the revenues we get with sales tax and things like that, the millages. So I just wanted you to know how the projected revenues were developed.
Yeah, and I'll offer a comment as well about just the reality of the situation we're in, where this probably should have been done and rectified years ago on getting everything a correct, equitable system in place to where we didn't have to do it in the middle of a nationwide budget crisis and student loss count. But doing that with all other mitigating factors being equal across every parish, every state in the whole country, we still have to be on a playing field where we can be competitive. Because if we don't do this, we're just going to continue to fall by the wayside. Our teachers are going to leave. We're not going to get new talent out of the colleges coming out because they're going to go somewhere else for the money, the $5,000 extra. It's something that we have to do. We have to move forward and be on the playing field with everybody else. We can't let this go. And I understand, Ms. Honore, everything you're saying, I get. It's tough to run a $600,000 deficit. We have a healthy fund balance that hopefully we can do this, put a message out. Our parish becomes more attractive because we are competitive, and we can go to the colleges around us and say, hey, look, we're on the same playing field, and we have this. We're a small town community. We can offer these things that bigger parishes can't. And we need to tout ourselves because of that, which our team does a great job when y'all recruit on selling the parish. But this is something that we can't let go another day, week, month. It's like I said, it's unfortunate that we're having to do it now in the middle of everything else going on. But this problem should have been tackled way ahead of time rather than piecemealing things together. And now we're in such a disjointed system. So.
Well, and to your point.
And I agree. I guess the thing about it is we talk about the few at the top, and the few at the top are the people that have stayed, and they're the experienced teachers. Okay, they're the ones that are here, and they're the ones that have weathered the storm. And so I understand we want to be on the bottom. Also, we want to give these guys a good reason to come here, but we also want to make sure that those people feel valued. Also, the people at the top. So that's my concern.
That's what Dr. B and I talked about, because you're key right there. We need to get new teachers in, but we don't want our experienced ones to leave. So that's why the big push is let's make step 40 the next thing we have to push for, because we want our experience to help our new, and then we continue to develop. And to Mr. Hebert's point, we talk a lot about teachers. Our support staff was a big part in this as well, because we are now competing with CDL drivers. Our bus drivers, they can go and make more money somewhere else. I was reading an article, I think it was this morning, that talked about our food cafeteria technicians. They can go into to the industry of the you can go to Chipotle, you can go to wherever your food processing places, and you're getting $18 to $20 an hour. So our teachers are absolutely important. Our support staff help keep everything running. So we really looked at both aspects because everybody is key in all of this.
It's a big balancing act right now, and thank you guys for taking that on.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to just give some clarity, just to want to make sure. When we look at the beginning teacher pay and we look at our 30-year teacher pay, why there's a discrepancy. So could you talk a little bit about that so we could make sure that everyone understands? It's because the beginning teacher pay is so far below the market value that, and really not just teacher pay in general, you see the discrepancies in how much someone would get because they're just that far off of where the market is at compared to our veteran teachers.
Correct.
They are more closer to the market value and to our peers. That's why there's a smaller jump, even though it is there, but it's a bit smaller. So you want to speak to that a bit?
Absolutely. When Lean Frog looked at the study of the peers that we could compete with, St. Mary, Lafourche, Terrebonne, our beginning teacher pay was much lower. We're 43.7 at the time. Many of them were 46 or higher. When you get to step 20, 21, we were right in the middle of being competitive with those three districts. The last step, we were competitive with those three districts at the time of the study. And they've increased a little bit, but we're still competitive enough at our step 30. Now, if we look at, because I've looked at salary schedules all around, and my eye goes to the bottom. Well, at some point, I'm looking at step 30 on hours, and I was like, oh, they're so much higher at the end. Well, they're a step 40. So our step 40 will be higher than, but at step 30, we're still competitive. So that's been a conversation piece too of the amounts that people's salaries will change in the new one, if approved, will be different. And if a person's larger than yours, it may have just meant that that particular position at that step was that much underpaid compared to our peers in the market. If your jump isn't as high, that step was more competitive and comparable to the market and the peers around us. So that's to speak to Dr. B. We were better in the middle, in the end, than we were at the beginning, which is why you're going to see differences. Because, I mean, people talk. I remember the times we had salary adjustments when I was a teacher. And, I mean, you do. It's human nature. But that's where you're going to see people, everybody's is going to be different depending on where they're at and where their particular job was at when the study was done.
And our steps were more than our surrounding parishes too, correct?
Correct. Our step increases were 656, where most of them were 450 or 500. So as part of what can we do to try to make this happen for our employees, we do have a new step increase would be 500, which is competitive with the surrounding districts. Our degree stipends were also more than some of the surrounding districts. Some of them are higher than us, but some have 1,000, 1,500, and ours was higher. So we dropped that a little bit, still competitive with those around us, but that's how we were trying to see, okay, where can we put into the salaries? If our step increases were higher, maybe we can put it into the salaries for our employees.
And Josh, to your point, when you're saying this should have been done 5, 6 years ago, we did. We did it on the program called RIF. We had to reduce the workforce because we was top heavy with employees per student ratio. Let me tell you, this may work for about a year or so, but first down the line, I don't think this is sustainable. Particularly when you're gonna start off in the red and you're given a $5,200 raise in the first year. Look at what the state have done in the last 5, 10 years. I think in 2022, 2023 school year, it was like 1,500, 750 certified to non-certified respectively. And as you can see for years right now, you know, even the 2.75% growth increase that we should have been getting years ago, that's no longer there. You know, so again, so like I said, we may be able to sustain this for about a year, but overall, long term, I don't think this is sustainable. Honestly, I don't.
I'll counteract that too with a RIF it's an emergency fire and putting a Band-Aid on a system. I'm not talking about 5 years. I'm talking about 20 years of just piecemealing things together. This person's getting a raise. This position is getting an adjustment based on this. And it's been so disjointed, the system is not going to fail. The system will operate equitably, just like it's meant to operate. Our staff and our leadership will have to go, hey, we need to eliminate a position this year because we don't have the student count for it. This program needs to be reevaluated. Maybe we need one person, overseeing instead of two. That's the reality for everybody, in any year in any school system, even if they have a surplus in their budget. You always have to analyze your programs and your systems, but the system that we are either going to approve or disapprove to put in place, that will not fail. We'll fail if we continue to drop student count because we're not being proactive about selling our district and getting on a level playing field, being competitive. If our teachers continue to leave because of that, we'll fail. If we can't provide the services because we're not competitive, we don't have the people coming to teach, we're going to fail. But the system is being corrected to where we're competitive and we can offer the best that we can to the teachers, support staff, and the students that we can. So I'll continue to counteract you. But like I said, the RIF is an emergency fire and a Band-Aid that you put on a system that was broken already, and then you continue to operate in that same system that you put a Band-Aid on, and there's a fire 2 years later, another fire 3 years later. Have a consistent system to where you operate from, and then you can adjust your indexes. You can adjust your step counts when you're able to in the future.
Okay. Well, we have a first by Mr. Aber and a second by Ms. Urso. I'm assuming that we are going to take a roll call vote. So I will ask, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay. Ms. Melissa, can we have a roll call vote, please?
No.
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion passes. Thank you.
And Mr. Honore, I know where you're coming from because it is very hard to have RIF people and say that, we gave rate, but now we got to start riffing people.
One voice, one vote, right?
Yeah, and I agree with you, Senator, Ms. Dodd. You guys have been on the board a long time, especially Mr. Honore, and he knows the numbers. So I'm hoping that he's wrong.
We went through
Teamwork.
in 2004, and it was bad. But it had to be done.
And that doesn't mean that's gonna, let's just see
No.
how this pans out.
Sometimes you just have
Yes.
a lot of that.
Okay, moving on, 7, facilities and grounds. A, approve change order number 2 for the project known as Via-Loris Elementary School Security and Drainage Improvement. I need a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Barris, second by Ms. Boutin.
I just have a question. I'm seeing an addition and is it a change and a deduct? Because there's two documents in here, one with a positive price and one with a negative price. Is it a deduct and an add on there?
It's a deduct, yes, it's a deduct and a change. So really, what happened, we found that we thought the original plywood, the original surface that we were changing was sheetrock, but it wasn't. So we have a little, I think it's $2,500 or so, I think it is, for the change. So that's why we requested that.
Okay, yeah, 2,000 for the change.
Yeah.
And then they reduced the hours, the labor hours on, so that's the deduction of the labor hours
Yes,
for the project.
yes,
Okay.
yep.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 8, comments and/or announcements by board members or administration.
I just want to wish everybody a happy summer. I know all the teachers are going to be leaving school tomorrow.
Tomorrow is our last
Students'
day
last day.
of students.
Students last day.
Friday. We just gave them, I was gonna say, thank the board for giving us Memorial Day off. So Friday will be our teachers' last day, and Thursday will be our students' last day. Tomorrow. Yep.
I wish all of them a happy summer and a restful one.
I definitely want to say that graduation was absolutely beautiful, whomever had their hands involved.
Yeah.
And it was an honor to stand there with all of you for our last graduation together.
Movie on Honor Ray yet. It should be
Oh, yeah, your
Oh, I've been showing
track
it all
movie.
over.
Yeah.
I know it was a joy, brother.
Ms. B, I do have something I want to.
Listen, I keep looking at it and I keep showing my wife and looking at you over and over and I can feel it.
I know we spent all this money on improving our system, safety system. Are all our doors able to lock now? Because that's so important. I mean, if they can walk on the campus and walk into any door, then we have no safety measure in.
Correct. Currently, right now, we're finishing up, the high school's a little different. The high school will have badge passes for the 26-27 school year, where our elementary schools will have the current system that we have in place at Napoleonville Primary School, where they have to go through into a single point entry. And then from there, if they need access into the building, then the secretary or whoever, the principal, someone will allow them access. But it would be the same setup we currently have right now. So in Pierre Part, in Belrose, in Labadeville, you would have only a single point entry into the building, and then there'd almost be a holding area, a station area, where you cannot go anywhere else unless you are allowed to. Those schools will not have the key card. The high school will, but we haven't finished the high school yet. We was finishing up. We have one more project. Well, part of the walkway into the main area, we have that project to complete, which I've already approved that, so that's going to be done this summer. So from that, for the 26-27 school year, we should have every school secure where we have a single point entry and you're only allowed into that one area. And all other exterior doors should lock.
Okay, that's what I really think that's very important, because we're wasting our time if the doors are not locked.
Yeah, and I had somebody call the other day that somebody went to the high school and walked right in the front door without being buzzed.
Currently, right now, currently, right now, that is true. But for the 26-27 school year, we should have all of that complete. The doors are in. We just have to finish that last little piece and do the badge pass.
I'm also concerned about traffic going to the back during school time. There was a license plate from Virginia the other day that went back there, and nobody stopped them. There was nothing in place to stop them. So I think there's other things that we really need to look at for the safety, because, I mean, that's a big concern for a lot of parents.
And what I'll do is I'll look into that, because what we possibly can do, we do have on our budget, you all approved the new budget. We have $2.5 million in capital improvement, so there may be some flexibility in there that we can improve the safety on Mustang Alley as well. Yep.
Thank you.
Comment too about the salary schedule from Ms. Brandy. This takes in, just for everybody listening, it takes effect in the new fiscal year. It's not going to happen on your next paycheck. Yeah, 26, 27 fiscal school year, yeah. Yeah. And then I have one more. So the Assumption Foundation for the Arts, finally, we had some instruments on back order, but we donated over $23,000 to the high school today and some new instruments for the high school band, 4 new shiny sousaphones that have been in disrepair for a very, very long time. And that's thanks to our donors and sponsors from the music festival that's held during the summer. So we went and got with Dr. Crochet and presented the instruments to the kids today during the middle of the day. And we're very happy to do that. They were excited. The post is online, so y'all come to the festival this summer, because that makes that stuff happen. So thank y'all. Yeah, thank y'all
for that.
Perfect. It's in August. August 1st. Yeah, well, it's the first weekend in August every year. This year's August 1st. Yeah,
Okay.
all day.
So wishing everyone a safe and happy summer. I'm going to need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Aber and second by Ms. Barris. Meeting adjourned.
Motion by everybody.